Tonight on Screen Chatter, we're taking a very special look at some extra special interviews with some of Hollywood's biggest names.
Jeff Goldblum, As I Live and Breathe.
Tony, as I live and breathe, look at you with your books behind you, and it's so nice to see you. So nice to see you, Tony. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you for doing this. And going back to Ian, was there any consternation on your part? Did you go, well, do I want to do this?
Oh no, Tony, no consternation like that, or no shilly-shallying about deciding. No, wild horses couldn't have stopped me from doing it. Colin Trevorrow, when we were working together a few years ago, said, I think in this third movie, which might be the last in this whole series, there's something good for you and for Sam Neill and Laura Dern to do. And right away I was wildly intrigued. And when he showed me his script with Emily Carmichael, I was very, very thrilled, and just went on this odyssey of trying to make it as good as I could, and honor the opportunity. And we had a great time. I hope you get a big kick out of the movie.
Well, we did. It's an amazing film, and not only that, but you get to play with some of the best people in Hollywood.
You're telling me not only Laura Dern, Sam Neill, and B.D. Wong from the first movie, and Omar Sy from this last one, and Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, but the new characters DeWanda Wise creates, and Mamadou Ache and Campbell Scott, Justice Smith and Daniela Pineda. Oh my gosh, this is a heck of a group. I was very, very lucky to play in this dream cast,
I'm hoping this opens the door for a reboot of 10 Speed and Brown Shoe.
You're so funny. Well, I'd sure love to see Ben Vereen again, and I'd do anything with him. He's a very gifted and wonderful man.
In our final seconds, what do you think audiences are going to take away from watching this last film?
Well, it's a case-by-case basis. I don't know exactly. My kids, we have two little boys, 5 and almost 7, who have never seen a movie in a movie theater. So I think they're going to go crazy for it. I hope it's not too scary. There are many moments that are a wild ride of thrills and chills, and if it's a little scary, Rivers said, you got to take me out and then walk me back in, all that stuff. I said okay. But I think if they're like me, I had many jumps in it, and I was on the edge of my seat, but I was very touched by many of the stories. I love the performances in it, and it just, it really kind of killed me. I think they'll have a good time. I hope so.
Jeff, we're all out of time, and I want to talk to you like for an hour. Well, let's arrange that.
Yes, please. Let's
I'll
have a
take
date.
you out for a cup of coffee when you're in Salt Lake City.
Let's have several cups of coffee, a whole pot of it, and we'll talk at length.
How are you, Laura?
I'm good. It's so great to see you. It's been a while through these
really
challenging
times.
Marriage
Story was the last time we connected. Yeah. What a great film that is. And of course now, the biggest blockbuster of all time, Jurassic World Dominion. What was it like getting the call saying we're getting the band back together?
I mean, amazing. Steven Spielberg had proposed, would I be open to it, some years ago, and Frank Marshall, our producer, had mentioned it, and then Colin and I met, and he asked if he could come to LA and we would have lunch and talk it out. And he was so collaborative, so open, so interested and willing to hear what would I expect of her now, what would I want, what would be important to me to embed into who the character is today. And that meant a great deal. And I think he really wanted to pay homage to Steven's original characters, which Steven was protective of, needless to say. So it was like a gorgeous meeting of the minds of everyone coming together. And the ideas of really focusing Ellie's storyline on the environmental messaging that you would expect of her evolving from a paleontologist into soil science focused on climate change was I felt important and exciting to be part of, but also, as you said, getting the band back together, being with Sam Neill and Jeff Goldblum, and then, being alongside the other cast of the Jurassic World universe was just amazing. And then new characters who were just incredible actors, and who knew we would all move in together because we were going back to work, having started right before the global pandemic, that we would end up in lockdown and living together for months. And
In the bubble.
It became quite a family.
Ellie is such a strong character, and she always has been. I mean, this is nothing new, but I'm so glad that they've continued that kind of storyline for her.
Oh, that's great to hear. Thank you. Yeah, that was really important to all of us, so it means a lot.
Is it hard working with the kind of CGI that you guys have had? I know you have some practical things going on, but there's a lot of CGI.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, I think my understanding from Colin is this is the most practical dinosaurs, animatronics of the franchise since the first film, in order to kind of go back to paying homage to the first film. So definitely visual effects, since Jurassic Park was the first CGI film, it's come a long way in terms of what can be done. But what I loved is there was such restraint in not overwhelming the movie with it. And most of the work I did, I predominantly had practical dinosaurs with me, and they're terrifying. And I don't just mean the huge ones. There are little ones that are
yucky.
Not my favorites.
Yeah.
Not my favorites.
Well, needless to say, there's going to be plenty of tickets sold and plenty of popcorn being munched during this. It is just an edge of your seat thriller, and congratulations on it.
Thank you.
And I will circle back and catch you on Insta, because you're one of my favorite people.
Oh, thank you. You as well. That means so much. And I've just missed getting to get together and see you and talk about movies. And we'd done it a couple of times right before the pandemic with Marriage Story and Little Women. And we were doing lots of press together. And then
the arm wrestling. I missed that.
Of course, which we'll get back to.
Millions of people are losing their dental coverage every year or can't afford dental care due to the high cost. Just a simple cleaning can cost over $100. But there is an answer, TDA. For about $1 a day, Total Dental Administrators covers over 200 dental procedures. Whether you're an individual, a family, self-employed, or retired, TDA has a plan that's right for you, starting about $1 a day. So call or click for your free information kit and see how affordable dental health can be.
Shakespeare said, heavy is the head that wears the crown. Is that true in taking on a lead role in a series like this?
I think there are always many sides to that. I was definitely more than grateful and happy to be allowed to have the honor of playing Elizabeth. I think she would probably say something else. I think it was quite the burden for her to know that she is at one point in line to the throne, and at the other point, just like nobody. So as a lead in the show, I think I was first quite grateful, then intimidated, and then just went with it and grew with it. And it was an incredible experience. And I'm so grateful.
Are you a natural horseback rider? I mean, you look so good on a horse.
Thank you so much. You made my day. No, I never was on a horse before. So I started learning how to ride for this. And I loved it so much that was kind of like my secret escape. Every weekend, I pretended I needed more lesson because I just wanted to be on a horse.
What do you think audiences are going to take away from watching Becoming Elizabeth?
Well, I think it just brings them the human beings behind those icons a bit closer. And I also hope that they will probably see that there is a female way of leading that doesn't need like a strong, dominant voice, but it can be like very soft and emotional and observing. Yes.
And before I leave, you have my favorite name, Alicia von Rittenberg. It's just such a beautiful name.
Thank you.
And you're a marvelous actress. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. So nice to meet you, Tony.
Do you gravitate toward scary films and scary things?
Apparently I do. I've accidentally just fallen into this. I mean, I obviously love like watching horror, thrillers, everything. But yes, it is something I gravitate to. I think that you can kind of explore a lot of like emotional themes, you know, in different ways with genres. So I definitely do gravitate towards it for sure.
Was there a heavy audition process?
No, I mean, no, I got sent well, everyone was nervous to send me the script because I just had a baby. And so everyone's like, I don't know if the subject matter is going to speak to you. And, you know, I don't know what this says about me, but I was like, I love it. Like, let's do it. And brought my baby with me to do the movie. But no, John had been, you know, attached to do this for a while. Michael Shannon had been on for a while. And I came in, you know, just wanting to work with these guys, falling in love with our director, Spencer Squire, and his vision of like wanting to take, like what you said, you know, a story you think you've heard before and tell it in a completely different way. And so, you know, I was the last to come on board, and we all just, you know, we're shooting in this farmhouse, and it really felt like a very like intimate, close-knit kind of summer campy vibe. And yeah, we're all just like really kind of, you know, proud of how it came together.
What do you think audiences are going to take away from watching Abandoned?
Well, we were talking about this earlier. I mean, one of the things I loved about the script and what I love about seeing the movie finished is that, you know, there's no like right or wrong answer necessarily at the end of this movie. There's no like closure wrapped in a pink ribbon, if you will. But I think everyone's going to take away something different, and I can't wait for people to see it so that I can like read all the kind of theories that people have of what they think was happening.
But I think that's what I love about this too, is the neo-Western, and it's the richness of the colors, you know, and the draw. And then you see, you know, it's like coming over the mountain, and, you know, kind of there's these beautiful, you know, landscape and long shots that really give you a moment to kind of chew on this. And then you have these moments of like intense action. And then you have like these kind of seductive moments, you know, when she kind of hits the lighter and sets them on fire, you know, kind of, you know, a little bit of fun in there too. It's not too serious.
Now, are you going to direct at any point soon?
I'm not going to direct, and I'm never going to write, but I'm definitely going to produce. For me, you know, I got the IP for a book before, and I sold it to Fox, and, you know, we didn't end up getting that down the line, but it kind of started my journey into this world. And, you know, I just got the IP for another book that I am just cannot wait to bring to life. So yeah, I think for me, it's producing, it's finding the material about, you know, strong women, incredible storytelling, stories that I think are relevant and powerful. And then finding a way, like through my passion and energy, to get them to life, you know, because that is 99% of the hurdle in our business.
Does music play a role in your preparation for any character?
Sometimes. I mean, I actually wish I was better with music. I wish I had someone making the playlist for me every single day. I end up going back to like the Allman Brothers, Crosby, Stills and Nash, or like Billie Holiday and Ella Fitzgerald, and now I'm into Bahamas. So it's like, you know, it kind of spans it all. But there are times with certain movies that music has really made a difference. There was nothing specific I was listening to on this. I mean, this movie was really more about, you know, staying in the rawness of it all and using the elements and staying true to the situation that she was forced into, and how I was going to work through that and reveal that.
And it was a beautiful reveal. I mean, you know, as as an actress, I don't think these parts come around all that often.
Right. Well, that's what's interesting. It's like you're flooded with work in your 20s. You get some good work in your 30s, and you get like 2 in your 40s, and there's just less opportunities where you see it. And I always feel so lucky because honestly, for me, I've gotten to play such kick-ass, strong female characters. I'm very rarely like the wife, the waitress, like the sidekick. I usually take probably more of the role that you would think would be written for a man. And that's something that I love. And I love that I also, I've been in, the biggest female action franchise in the world, with Resident Evil. And so there's things with that I love that I hope I get to keep doing. So we'll see.
You seem to be able to jump from comedy to drama. I mean, the long road, the short history of a long road, great turn in that. And now this, it's a totally opposite kind of role.
Totally. Yeah, it's such a fun movie. I mean, the script was immediately something I was so excited about because it's such a challenge. And I think balancing genres, especially with subject matter this delicate, and being able to accomplish like such an insane amount of humor at the same time is such a gift as, actors to be able to do that. And again, just I think, a story that I very much cared about. So yeah, very grateful, excited it's coming out finally.
Maddie, tell me a little bit about your character, Emma.
What can I say?
What can't you say? We're screaming your name the whole movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I play a high school student that parties too hard and then wanders into the wrong place. Yes, very wrong place. Like, yeah.
It's interesting to me that your character is in every frame of the film, and yet and very present there. So it's a lot of fun.
It was so fun. Yeah, I had a blast.
Sabrina, does music play a part in you developing characters? I mean, are there rhythms and cadences?
Totally. Carrie also is a super musical director. One of the first things that he did was, create like playlists for, different characters and just like inspiration behind the film and like the tone of the film. Someone who was always listening to music on set before scenes was Donald. And I thought that was really cool because I do the same thing in certain, emotional states. And I think anytime that there was kind of scenes with these like high emotional stakes, we were all kind of like put our headphones in and just like block out the rest of the world. And it is super helpful. It can definitely help you get in a state of mind and bring you to a place where you can meet that.
Glenn, was there any consternation in joining this cast?
I felt like I was leaping off a cliff, and yet I felt like there were enough wonderful people around me that somehow I would sprout some wings by the time I landed. It started for me learning Farsi like 2.5 months before I arrived in Greece, and that was a huge challenge, and it continued to be a challenge during the whole shooting because you want to have it seem like it's that you're fluent. So that was probably the greatest challenge, but also to be in a cast that was multilingual, to be in a cast where we had a lot of Israelis, a lot of Greek cast, but also a lot of Iranian refugees, both as part of the production staff and as extras in the movie. So it made it feel very real. It was a great journey for me to be surrounded by people who had actually lived something that we were shooting.
I want to return a kindness to you before we even get into Schmigadoon, which, by the way, is absolutely amazing. We were at the Four Seasons and we got into an elevator together, and I was feeling sad, and you turned to me, and I remember what you said to me. You said, 6, please. And so I really, never mind. You can
That's
use,
the best of the whole.
you can use that anytime.
Tony, I do what I can, and I'll be using that in the next interview, okay?
Thank you very much. You are an amazing performer, and what people I don't think know about you is that you have a master's degree in opera.
Yes. Thank you for knowing that.
Well, I do know that, and that's got to be a lot of work.
It was so hard. My teacher was, it's so funny when people come up to me on the street and they go, "Oh my gosh, I loved you in West Wing," or they come to a concert and they go, "I didn't know you sing." And I always I crack up because, when you're out there with Bocelli and you're like, "You didn't know I sang?" But it's actually a wonderful surprise because it allows me to be in a lot of lanes.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. This is a serious problem, but one we can solve. Visit feedingamerica.org to help. Together we can solve hunger. Together we're feeding America.
Thanks for watching the special edition of Screen Chatter tonight. Remember to visit us online and at our website at screenchatter.com. I'm Tony Toscano. See you next time.
This portion of Screen Chatter is presented by VP Dental. Check out our great dental plans starting at just $16 per month.